How's it going, everybody? Captain Solomon here, and you know what time it is. It's time to review the April 24th, 2018 edition of Smackdown Live. The show starts off with Miz TV. Yeah, you got that right. Miz is starting off the show, making Smackdown the most must-see TV ever. Of course, I'm kidding with you. However, the Miz does show up, and classic heel moves, kind of bantering with the fans, stuff like that. He then goes to invite out his guest. His guest being, from what we've gathered, Daniel Bryan. Now, he does do a bit back and forth, talking about how, Daniel Bryan wants to punch his face in and everything like that, how this is a feud 2 or 3 years running now. And The Miz then goes on to say that since he's had his child, he's a changed man, and that he thought maybe Daniel would be the same kind of person now that Daniel is a father as well, but I guess that's not the case, etc., etc. But he eventually does tell him, hey, if you want to come down here and you want to punch me in the face, then do it. Just come down here and do it right now. Just do it. It's fine. Get it out of your system type of deal. However, we do not get Daniel Bryan. Instead, we get a appearance by Big Cass as he's putting on his suit and putting on a nice watch and everything like that, putting on jewelry, and he does the fist raise that is like his signature taunt, and begins to walk down to the ring cockily, almost like a McMahon strut in his stride. It was actually pretty good. I really liked it. He ends up even getting to the ring, and instead of stepping over the ropes, he steps through the ropes, which I just expected him to step over, but no, he gave the respect. You said that, hey, Daniel Bryan couldn't make it, so you're interviewing me now, and Miz was reluctant to agree. They had a little back and forth against each other before turning the focus to Daniel Bryan. And in this whole promo, Big Cass says that he feels he was he's put in his shadow. When he got cleared after his ACL tear, Daniel Bryan just so happens to get medically cleared the same day, and nobody talks about Big Cass. They all talk about Daniel Bryan. He also goes on to say that Daniel Bryan reminds him of when he used to be a small little guy, and he used to get beat up by everybody, until he grew taller, and taller, and taller, because he's 7 feet tall, and from what I've understood, you can't teach that. However, he goes on to say that, after he got tall, he beat up the little guys because they deserve it. They deserve to be like that. And he's sick of being in Daniel Bryan's shadow. He's sick of looking at Daniel Bryan and seeing what he used to be, a little guy that used to get picked on. He hates it. He despises Daniel Bryan. And he says he's going to take him down one way or another. This is the end of this segment, and we cut backstage to where we're getting Becky Lynch and Asuka about to make their way to the ring. We're going to head to commercial break. However, we see they run into Daniel Bryan, who they're checking on because apparently he was attacked backstage. Now, forgive me, I may have forgotten. I don't know if they ever clarified exactly who did it. I'm almost certain that it was Big Cass. That would make the most sense. However, I don't remember if they ever officially said it yet. They might have by the end of the night. I basically just watched the end of Smackdown after my workday real quick just so I can make this video. And I don't remember. I don't think they said anything. So then we get Iconics versus Becky Lynch and Asuka. Iconics cutting a decent promo again, saying that they are the future. Asuka is the Empress of yesterday type of deal. We've heard that part before, but I still kind of like it coming from the Iconics. A good chunk of it took place in the sub window, like the little miniature commercial window that they have. It was a good match. I liked it. I liked Corey Graves at one point when they were talking about the Iconics, made a Mean Girls reference when he told Byron Saxton that he can't sit with them. And I thought that was very good. The match ends whenever Becky is backed into Asuka, knocking Asuka off the apron. Then the numbers game eventually takes, even though Becky tries to fight it back, it eventually takes over and she can't beat 2-on-1. She gets rammed face first into the ring post on the outside, pulled into the ring, and rolled up for the pin. Not only that, but it was a dirty pin with the foot on the ropes, so the Iconics picking up a dirty win. And this is the one thing I'm kind of happy about with Asuka not having the streak anymore. Now she can lose matches. Even if she's not the one pinned, she can lose matches. That's a thing that's allowed, whereas before it was not. I'm still sad at how it ended. However, it definitely makes for an easier booking situation and a little more exciting booking situation when it comes to Asuka and what she can be, used for in matches. Then after that, we jump backstage. Renee Young is outside of Shane McMahon's dressing room, and she's like she's going to stay there and find out what exactly happened to Daniel Bryan. However, AJ Styles then steps out, seems very excited, and she asks him about it. He mentions, long and short of it, that he has a match against Shinsuke, but Shinsuke is bringing on his good friends Rusev Day of Rusev and Aiden English. So it's going to be a 6-man tag match, which ends up being our main event. And they ask her here if he has any partners or if he knows who his partners are going to be. And his response is, oh yeah, and it's going to be too sweet. And then they don't exactly say exactly what it is, but any astute fan will know. That means we're getting a Bullet Club reunion right now, because the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows, are both on Smackdown, and that is exactly what we get later on in the night. Then we go to commercial break, but as we come back, we get a video package of Andrade Cien Almas. I'm excited to see him make his debut. We also then get the Usos backstage, just talking about the Bludgeon Brothers and the situation. And Naomi comes in, and Naomi isn't the most believable actor in the situation. I thought she was better last week whenever she showed up and looked panicked. But she does go on to say that she's worried about him, worried about Jimmy, and that she's afraid what the Bludgeon Brothers might do, because when she looked them in the eyes, she saw nothing. Just a blank stare, which I like. I enjoy that. Like, that they have no emotion is the idea. That's clever. Jimmy says, not to be concerned. Us got his back. All that, etc., etc. Tells her not to come out, and, she doesn't seem to agree nor disagree. She said she didn't promise anything, but it seemed kind of neutral by the end of it. This leads into Jimmy Uso going one-on-one against Eric Rowan. Plenty of decent enough match. Very specifically, I wanted to point out, I love the way that back when we had the Usos fighting the New Day, it was a lot of high-flying spots, some technical spots as tag teams, and moves that they would do as groups and stuff like that, different suicide dives and stuff like that. A lot of stuff like that. Whereas when the Usos go against the Bludgeon Brothers, you really, they sell hard for the Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, not that it looks like it takes much to sell for them. It looks like you're just going to get your head knocked off your body. So maybe it's just that. But they work very well. I mean, proving, once again, the Usos are probably one of the greatest tag teams on either show, in all actuality. The match gets interrupted as as the music and such for Naomi starts. She gets a full entrance with the glow and everything, and she comes down. And then my favorite part is you see Luke Harper just looking up the ramp at Naomi, and the angle they get, she's twerking, and you just see him distracted, and then he gets attacked by Jey Uso, and this leads to in the ring there's a surprise attack situation, and Jimmy gets the roll up victory pin. They hurry up and hightail it up the ramp. So who knows what this means for the Greatest Royal Rumble on Friday? But all in all, it was okay. I'm just curious what Naomi's part is going to be, because they can't have her be anything there. So it's just really weird. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe they're going to drag this out further. I'm not sure. After that was the Smackdown Women's Tag Team Championship match contract signing. Or, sorry, I think I screwed that all up. Smackdown's Women's Championship. I don't know. I might have said tag in there. I'm tired. The Smackdown Women's Championship contract signing. So Renee Young's out there in the ring. She introduces the champion, Carmella, first. Carmella comes down to the ring, and she is upset. She stops her from introducing Charlotte, first of all. She's also upset that she was announced first when she's the champion. This is no longer Charlotte's world. This is Carmella's world. Mella runs everything. So this also leads to her complaining about the fact that she didn't get a standing ovation last week whenever she played a beautiful, perfect video package. So to rectify that, she's going to play the video package again. So she did. She played the video package again. And when it's over, you get, kind of the boost from the crowd and everything like that. And she goes, no, nope, nuh-uh, nope, nuh-uh. You guys did it wrong. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run this video package again. And I'm going to continue to do it until you get it right, and all stand and all applaud for me. And she does. She starts to play the video package a third time, and I love it. I just love this dynamic of a heel. Charlotte then interrupts that. When Charlotte gets down to the ring, it becomes Charlotte just very cold-faced, stern, calculated, very much the queen that she kind of claims to be. And then you get the bratty princess of Carmella just walking around the ring, mocking the Charlotte woos and yelling that she's the champ. She eventually does sit down, and Charlotte goes to sign the contract, and it's slow and drawn out, and she gives a very hearty woo right into the face of Carmella, which causes Carmella to get up and throw the title up like in her face. In response, Charlotte grabs her by the head, rams her face first into the table before flipping the table on top of her and then leaving the ring. They do mention that later on the contract was signed. We all knew this was getting signed. Like, these things are just a joke. They're just, happenstance for a way to progress a feud every now and then. But, alright, fine. I'm glad they clarified that it actually got signed. But yeah, that's the way that segment ends. I loved it. It was actually probably one of my favorite parts of the entire night. We then end up going backstage, where we're going to get an interview with Shinsuke Nakamura, or so we think, except for the fact that Aiden English is the one to open up Shinsuke Nakamura's door, and simply says, no interviews, before shutting the door back up. So yeah, I like it, where I just like, it's another way of doing the, sorry, I don't speak English, thing that they've been doing, where Shinsuke's just not talking to anybody. I love Shinsuke's heel, character. It's so I don't even know how to describe it. I just really like how it's like he basically, his way of being heel. Other heels want to make the crowd hate you, hate their character by insulting them, belittling them, and stuff like that. He's literally just doing actions alone of the low blows on AJ and the not talking for interviews and everything like that. And that's all he's doing. He doesn't have to interact with the common folk. He just needs to do one or two little things, and you just slowly are going to grow to hate him. I love it. It's personally one of my favorite things on SmackDown right now. After that, we're going to get Jeff Hardy taking on Shelton Benjamin, or so we're teased. Shelton Benjamin is in the ring when we come back from the commercial break, except with shades of last week. Randy Orton comes out halfway through Jeff Hardy's entrance. Now, this one wasn't as clean as the week before. Jeff seemed to stop a little early, like he was ready for it, waiting for the interruption. But it does come, and I like it. Randy Orton doesn't even look at Jeff Hardy, which means clearly we're going to see something between those two down the road. The match itself, again, took place in a little bit of the side window. I did like that Shelton Benjamin is employing. I don't know, he's using, again, very tired, using a very heel moveset. I like the over-aggression in the corner. I like the when he had him draped over, towards the outside of the ropes, and the knee strikes, or the knee strike to the head and the kicks to the chest and stuff like that. That like very heelish moves. He tore him out, hit him, his face first off the announce table. Stuff like that is just nice to cement that your character is not a good guy. He's not a tweener. He is a heel. And yeah, so again, a plenty fine match. There's a point where, because Jeff Hardy is at ringside, just sitting there watching the match, Randy Orton goes to chuck Shelton Benjamin into him. He feigns that he's going to. Jeff Hardy gets up and steps away, whoa, there's no need for that. And Orton doesn't do it, and it leads to a backdrop on the table, because Orton loves doing that. Eventually, some masked luchador jumps over the barricade and takes out Jeff Hardy's knee. Now, then he tries to run away, but security shows up, so he hurries up and jumps into the ring. Into the waiting arms of Randy Orton, who pulls his mask off to reveal Samil Singh, trying to get in that cheap shot before Friday because Jinder Mahal is going to be facing Jeff Hardy for the United States title. He catches an RKO for his troubles, and then off of this, Randy Orton gets back up and catches the pay dirt from Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin picks up the 3 count here. All in all, I really like this. Again, compared to last week, or not last week, but compared to yesterday on Raw, I feel that SmackDown is more heavily focusing on future storylines and storylines that they have in general over just filling content. I feel like Mondays are going to be a content show, whereas on Tuesdays it's going to be a story driven show. But we'll see. It's still plenty of time for that to be switched around or things to like kind of fizzle out. So then we get AJ getting psyched up with Gallows and Anderson in the back, being really excited, the Too Sweet, everything like that. Because this is leading to our main event, our 6-man tag match. We do have Anderson, Gallows, and AJ Styles going against Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, and Aiden English. Now, the heels do pick up the win. It comes off of a situation where I think that they didn't know that Shinsuke was the legal man, comes in, hit the Kinshasa on the back of Gallows, I believe it was. I want to say it was Gallows. I believe he hit Luke Gallows with it and gets the pinfall victory. It was, because then afterward, AJ immediately starts attacking Shinsuke Nakamura. He's had enough of his shenanigans. He's, getting through that, like, Styles rush-in that he gets in, that attack, and it is cut short with a low blow by Shinsuke Nakamura. Classic Shinsuke. This drops AJ, and Shinsuke is going to line him up for the Kinshasa right to the head. However, Anderson jumps into the way like a hero and takes the knee right to the face. AJ is still down. Shinsuke then takes this opportunity to kind of pull Anderson up and, look straight at AJ before drilling Anderson with another Kinshasa. With AJ not able to do anything to stop it. Again, this methodical style of Shinsuke is absolutely phenomenal. Pun intended. Absolutely great. I love it. I think it's perfect. It ends with Shinsuke celebrating up the ramp. That's the end of our night. If I'm going to give this an out of 5 rating, as I plan to do now, I'm going to give it 3. It's a higher 3 than Raw was. I feel this one was a lot more interesting overall as a show. The matches were relatively pretty good, although I still feel there might have been some better stuff on Raw in the wrestling department. But story-wise, SmackDown just really is pulling me in right now. I'm going to give it a high 3. Like, we're going to say 3.3 for Raw, 3.7 for SmackDown. It's something like that. Like, they could even out in the middle somewhere. But what are your thoughts? Was you hoping to see Jeff Hardy go against Shelton Benjamin again? Do you like the heel Shinsuke Nakamura? Are you happy about the Bullet Club reunion? What's your opinion on the Carmella Charlotte little contract signing segment? Anything you want to talk about, leave a comment in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, of course. And if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be putting out videos as often as I can. Here in the next couple days, I'm going to be doing my predictions for the greatest Royal Rumble. I don't know how I'm going to predict a winner for a 50-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble match, but I'm going to find some way to do it. So, again, I've been Captain Solomon. You guys have all been awesome. Take it easy.